Meet the Hendersons, kings and queens of consumption. The Hendersons were known for their extravagant lifestyle. They lived in a sprawling 6-bedroom house, far larger than what they needed. Their 3 cars, gas guzzlers all, were a common sight in the neighbourhood. The Hendersons loved to shop. They bought new clothes every week, the latest gadgets and the most stylish furniture. Waste was never a concern. Life was about having the best and the newest, consequences be damned. They were the epitome of a consumerist society, driven by impulse and a desire for more. Their actions, however, had a hidden cost, a burden borne by the planet in silence. A mountain of waste. The Hendersons' footprint. The family's wastefulness was staggering. Every day their garbage bins overflowed with discarded packaging, barely used items and uneaten food. Their closets bulged with clothes they wore once or twice, quickly replaced by the next shopping spree. Old furniture was tossed aside, making way for trendier pieces. Lights blazed in empty rooms, and the air conditioning ran constantly, regardless of the weather. Their actions, while seemingly harmless in their own bubble, contributed to a much larger problem. Every discarded item, every wasted watt of energy added to the strain on the planet's resources and the growing mountains of waste. Their lifestyle was a microcosm of a global issue, a stark reminder of the unsustainable path of overconsumption. Sustainable living shining a light on excess. Sustainable Living was a new reality TV show with a mission. It aimed to expose the wasteful habits of seemingly ordinary families and guide them towards a more environmentally conscious lifestyle. The Hendersons, with their reputation for extravagance, were the perfect candidates. The show's producers saw an opportunity to highlight the real-world consequences of such excessive consumption. The show's host, a passionate environmental advocate, was determined to make the Hendersons and the viewers understand the impact of their choices.
By showing the direct connection between their actions and the environmental consequences, a change is possible.
The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation between blissful ignorance and uncomfortable truths. The Hendersons on camera, all smiles and no idea. Initially, the Hendersons were excited to be on television. The cameras, the crew, the prospect of fame, it was all very glamorous.
We welcomed the film crew into our home, not really knowing the show's true intentions.
We boasted about our shopping sprees, our lavish parties, and our collection of luxury cars.
The cameras followed them to overflowing malls, documented their extravagant dinners, and captured their disregard for even the simplest conservation efforts.
We thought the show was a platform to showcase our perfect life.
They were unaware that they were about to become the poster family for wasteful living. Their initial enthusiasm and lack of awareness made the impending reveal all the more impactful. The stage was set for their comfortable reality to be turned upside down. The season finale was where sustainable living delivered its message. The Hendersons were invited to what they thought was a celebratory screening. Instead, they were confronted with a shocking display. TV show host, a mountain of your trash, collected over the weeks of filming, towers before you. Heaps of clothes, discarded toys, packaging and wasted food painted a grim picture of their consumption. TV show host. The sheer volume of your waste is overwhelming, a physical manifestation of your careless consumption. It was a stark contrast to the carefully curated image they presented to the world. The sight was undeniable, unavoidable, and for the first time the Hendersons were forced to confront the reality of their wasteful lifestyle. At first the family laughed, brushing it off as a silly prank. TV show host. But as I explain the environmental impact of each item, their amusement fades into disbelief. The realization that their discarded plastic bottles would take hundreds of years to decompose, that their food waste contributed to methane emissions, and that their endless desire for new things depleted the Earth's resources was a hard pill to swallow. TV show host. The laughter dies down, replaced by a stunned silence. The weight of their actions, previously invisible and ignored, now stood before them in a tangible and horrifying form. Their carefree facade crumbled, revealing a family confronted with the uncomfortable truth about their lifestyle. The show, intended to be entertaining, delivered a harsh reality check.
The Earth simply can't keep up. If everyone lived like the Hendersons, the planet would be depleted of its resources. Landfills would overflow, pollution would skyrocket, and climate change would accelerate at an alarming rate.
The host didn't sugarcoat the situation.
Your wasteful ways aren't just a personal choice, they're contributing to a global crisis.
Her words were a stark warning, a call to action delivered with urgency and passion. The Hendersons, used to their comfortable bubble of privilege, were forced to confront the uncomfortable reality that their actions had far-reaching consequences.
The planet is not your personal playground to plunder and discard at will.
The message was clear and impossible to ignore. The experience was a turning point for the Hendersons. The weight of their waste, both literally and metaphorically, triggered a change of heart. They began to understand that their actions had consequences, not just for the environment, but for future generations. The guilt and shame were evident on their faces. They had been living in a bubble, blind to the impact of their choices. The show, initially perceived as a ticket to fame, became an unexpected catalyst for introspection and change. They realized that their lavish lifestyle came at a cost far greater than they had ever imagined. The consequences of their actions, once distant and abstract, were now painfully clear. The Hendersons' transformation didn't stop there. They were determined to make amends for their wasteful ways. They downsized to a smaller, more energy-efficient home. They traded their gas-guzzling cars for electric vehicles. They embraced recycling, composting, and conscious consumption. They even started a blog and social media channels to share their journey and inspire others to live more sustainably. Their story became a beacon of hope, proving that change is possible, even for the most extravagant consumers. Their journey from wasteful to mindful became an inspirational tale, demonstrating that awareness can lead to action and that even small steps can make a big difference. The Henderson story is a reminder that we are all responsible for the health of our planet. It highlights the impact of our consumption choices and the power of awareness and action. It's a call to rethink our relationship with material possessions and embrace a more sustainable way of life. Every small step we take, from reducing waste to conserving energy, contributes to a healthier planet for future generations. The story of the Hendersons, though fictional, carries a very real message. It serves as a mirror reflecting our own consumption habits and their impact on the world around us. It is a call to action, an invitation to choose mindful consumption over mindless waste, and to contribute to a future where sustainability is not a choice but a way of life.